of people joining us. We are at sharp at 6 o'clock. So let's get this ball rolling. Thank you everybody for joining today evening. My name is Gautam Gupta and I'm so happy to see all of you at yet another session of our Work Better Club. I hope all of you are doing fine this Saturday evening and all of you are healthy and safe and adhering to the safety and the lockdown procedures in your cities. And I'm also doing well here in Bombay. We have had some rains last few days, but last couple of days we have had a nice sunny day. So yeah, so I'm sure I have met some of you in my earlier session, but if I haven't, then I would like to do a quick introduction of myself. As I said, Gautam Gupta is my name. I am the master trainer and the head of business development at Work Better Training. I'm sure Work Better Training you all are aware of by now. I don't have to introduce the organization. But yes, just coming back to myself, I have over 32 years of work experience now in the corporate world. The last 16 years, I have been part of the professional corporate training industry. And before that, I was into sales and marketing in various other organizations. Originally from Delhi and now working out of Mumbai. Yeah. And I've had most of my lockdown time spent in Delhi for the last 3.5 months. Just came back to Bombay about 2 weeks back and had a very interesting, entire flight from Delhi to Bombay. So yeah, that was some a very different kind of an experience in the last 30 years of my travel. So yeah, I think I have seen a lot in my life, but this is another new experience. I think I have a lot of stories to tell to my grandchildren. Yeah. Okay. So I can see some chats here. Yeah. Good evening, Jagat. Good evening to everybody. Yeah. Yes, Jagat. Good evening. Good evening to everybody who is joined in today. So yeah, let's get this thing started. So today our topic of interest is how do I manage our virtual teams, right? Managing virtual teams, and I'm sure all team leaders in the forum today. And of course, for me, it's also a very, very important topic because I'm also a team leader in my organization, and this becomes a very relevant topic for all of us who are managing virtual teams, right? So we will do a little bit of deep dive into this topic, and as is the trend of all the Work Better Club sessions, is I'll try to give you some tips which you can go away and start practicing from Monday itself. Yeah. So those are the things we're going to talk about. Some of the things which you probably already are doing. So it will be a good reinforcement of some of the good practices you already are doing. But in case you are not, and there are a few things which you can catch from here, I would suggest that just catch them here, make a note in your notepad, and then see whether you can practice this with your team from Monday onwards. Again, very, very relevant, very, very practical, very, very implementable tips and techniques we are going to have and talk about. Yeah. Like always, let's make it an interactive session. Use the chat box as much as possible. Like always, there are certain ground rules which I would like to quickly share. Right. So your cameras and mics have been put on mute, I think, because of the chaos and because of the network requirement. But yes, please use the chat box as much as possible. Okay. And put all your views, answers, comments, your thoughts on the chat box. That will help us to really interact with each other. I will take questions at the end of each module. At the end of the class, we have an after class session after my presentation is over, where you can put your questions in the Q&A section. I'm going to take the questions which have been put in the Q&A. Now, during the session, in case some questions come up, my request is, if it is absolutely, I will probably take 1 or 2 questions during the session, but otherwise at the end of the session, during the after class, I'm going to check the Q&A box, and all questions which have been put in the Q&A box, I'm going to answer them as much as possible, right? We will be having an assessment link which will be shared with my co-host Mitali. She will be putting the link in the chat box, and please keep an eye on that link at the end of the session. Please do that. And then of course there will be a poll which is a feedback for this session. Please be very candid in your feedback. That will be done. Yeah. And of course after that is done, then we will take our after class, which is the formal Q&A session. Yeah. So that is what how this evening will go. Just as a quick confirmation from all of you, please in the chat box, if you can please come write yes, a big capital yes, that 2. 1, you are excited to attend this session, And second, you are really able to hear me and see the presentation. Yeah. Can I get a good capital yes from all of you? Yeah. I'm keen. I'm very happy to see you today. And I'm looking forward to interacting with all of you. Great. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mohammed, Pratyush, Ganesh, Shivalika, Sham. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Okay, good to hear from all of you. So let's now deep dive into this topic of trying to manage virtual teams. Now, I can presume and assume that many of you today in the forum are team leaders, right? Are managing teams, whether it's a one-man team or probably 100 people in your team, right? So if you are a team leader, it will be of great relevance to you this session. But even if you're not a team leader, tomorrow you could be, and I'm sure probably, in the very near future, you could be. And also if you're part of a team, then also possibly some of the thoughts we're going to discuss are going to be of relevance to you. Yeah. So whatever you are in your organization, it will be of great relevance, even if you are part of a team or you are leading a team. So that's what is going to be the benefit of this session. Yeah. My request is please be participative, please remain present, please ensure that you have a writing pad with you, you have a notepad with you, and please use that notepad, writing pad to capture some of our thoughts. Okay, so let this get this ball rolling, and let's talk about managing virtual teams. Right now, what does managing a virtual team mean? Okay, now is this a new concept? Is this managing virtual teams new concept? What do you think? Is it because of the lockdown this concept has come up, or managing virtual team was always there? Yeah, can I get some answers from some of you in the chat box? Is it a new concept? Yeah, it was always there, right? Harshit is saying it is always there, right? In Pratyush also is saying it's always there. It has been always there. Yes. Amir is also saying the same thing. Arun, it was also always there. Yes. In a way, I think from a long time back, we were all managing virtual teams, right? People who are especially in the technology companies, in the IT industry, in the software development, in various other industries, it has been always there, right? Because you had people working together on projects across cities and across continents also, right? So virtual teams has always been there. Now, I would say that people with a central office and regional offices, I think we have always worked virtually because all our teams are spread across the regions. So if you are working in a central office and you have your team members across major zones, I think that was another form of actually a virtual team, where probably you would meet up every quarter for your sales meet or every quarter for your business meet and get together. Otherwise, we go back to our hometowns, go back to our regions and zones, and you're working together with the team. So we were always probably working in a virtual team, right? But what has happened is that, as Harshit has said very well, that because of the lockdown, this has become a more norm, right? This virtual team management has become a thing which is going to probably become more apparent, right? We have become very conscious about it because of this lockdown, where we are not able to go out of a house also. Earlier, we would probably look at managing a virtual team from our office, but today our home has become the office. So today, probably this topic of managing virtual team has become more important for all of us. So that's why probably we are talking about this. So it has always been there. It is just that now it has become so obvious and so apparent and so in our face, right? Nitin is saying this is most popular in lockdown, but that is working for long distance meeting before lockdown. Yes. So that's what it is. And what Pallab has said, always there were since AV digital platform became available. Yes. So I think technology has also enabled this a lot, right? Technology has also enabled this a lot, where earlier it was only a phone call, but now we are using video calls, we are using the Zoom app, we are using WhatsApp video, we are using our other apps to connect with people and connect with our team, right? But because of this lockdown, because of this COVID-19 situation, I think now for a team leader and for teams, this has become a pretty tricky part, where probably people are not sure that whether my team is working the way I want them to. So a lot of team members are also confused about how do we work within this virtual environment which has been forced upon us because of this, COVID situation. And I think going by the report which I read, and I'm sure all of you also reading, this situation is going to be there for some more time. As we call it, it is a new normal, where probably you will not meet your team for a long, long time and conduct your business over this virtual platform, right? And more over this video virtual platform, where the only touch and only time you will see people is through this screen. So that's going to be a new normal for many, many months to come. I know for many of us, that is not the right way. We like to touch and feel, we like to be physically present, but then that's how it is going to be. And the sooner we adjust to this, the sooner we understand this, and sooner we manage this, I think it will become better for all of us. Yeah. Some of you have over the last 3.5, 4 months managed it pretty well. Some of you are still struggling. So we'll try to give you certain tips and techniques which will help you to manage in this virtual world and manage your virtual team. Right. Okay, I've got some more thoughts on the chat. Let's see what some of you are saying. Okay. Shika is saying this must be part of our lives now because distancing will be there. Yes. I think today, even if companies have opened up, half or 1/3 of the employees are going to office, and in many locations, even that has not happened. And I'm sure you would have read many of the technologies companies have said that probably work from home will become a permanent feature, right? 100% of their employees, 100% of people are going to be working from home and working virtually. So that's going to become a norm even in India now. And I'm sure many organizations are forming policies and HR policies around working from home and working 100% virtually. Yeah. So if this is going to become the new norm, the new normal, then as a team leader, as team members, what are the few things we need to manage? Yeah. Okay. So what does managing a virtual team mean? It means managing a group or team of people who work together towards a common objective, but are not located in the same place, right? Leading a team which is made up of people in different physical locations. Yes. Now, if you look at in this particular two terms I've given, there is one very interesting thing which is mentioned. Amir is also added to that, sir. Is this a disadvantage of people who are located in the most interior part of India because of connectivity? I agree with you a lot, Amir, that yes, there could be a challenge across India, people in a smaller locations, smaller cities, where we are reading stories of all kinds where connectivity is a big issue still in our smaller towns and cities, where this working virtually is going to be difficult. I understand all that, but unfortunately, there is not a ready answer to this. I think we'll have to make the best of probably using our mobile phones and mobile connectivity to at least make that telephonic call and remain in touch through the audio call. And wherever possible, if you are able to get reasonable network, to be able to connect through the video call. So when I say working virtually, we will have to look at it from a fact that at least audio calls are possible. We'll have to work around that way. And as we go along, as we move along with the participation of the government and the private sector, I'm sure connectivity will improve sooner and we are able to reach to the last mile. Yes. Palab says challenge also lies with people living with joint families or who have small kids. Yes, I fully agree with you. And I'm sure a lot of you are having this challenge where there are multiple users of the same Wi-Fi network, right? It could be you, your spouse, your children doing homeschooling, their projects, then their hobby classes, your thing, your connectivity with your parents, with your families, your friends. So there's a lot of pressure on the network. And of course, the normal office hours also, where your boss, your supervisor, your team members are also looking and seeking your attention. So it's a big challenge, no doubt about it. That working virtually in the current COVID situation is a big challenge, where you do not have the luxury of a lease line and of a very broadband of an office line, where you could probably do virtual calls very, very easily. So I understand that working at home in this situation is becoming a challenge. And so there's no answer to that, but I think all of you have been able to manage and come up with various solutions, and you have put some timeline. Yes, Shika is added. Yes, by sitting at home, we do have distractions in home. We do not have a proper workspace. Yes, so we're going to talk about a couple of those things which will probably help you to streamline yourself also. Pratyush has added, it's all about adjustment, which again, people are learning. Yes, I think mankind has always been able to adjust to the new situation and come up with some solutions. I'm sure you all will find some solution. Pallav has added, we in a family of 3 working professionals have 3 different networks. Yes, in fact, that's what we have also done, right? We have had 3 networks to be able to take care of the kids who are attending college sessions and of course attending our work also. So yeah, so we have had to do that. And I'm sure the internet companies have rejoiced because their business has gone up, tremendously. Yes. So yeah. So let's now, given this working environment, given that this is going to be the new reality, how do I manage my virtual team, right? How do I ensure that I'm able to get the best? So there are a few things we're going to talk about. Yeah. Now, so managing a group of or team of people who work towards a common objective, right? I think that's the key word. Whether you're working in office face to face, whether you're working virtually, where you're dispersed all over the country, all over the world, doesn't matter. I think one term which is very, very important for all of us to understand, especially for all team leaders and members, is that we all work together towards a common objective. And that's very important. So if all of us are able to put that common objective in front of us, then doesn't matter how you're working, that will guide you. That will be the guide, North Star for you. That the common objective is going to be the focus area. Yeah. And leading a team which is made up of people in different physical locations, right? It has always been there. It has now become more apparent, more, absolutely required. So in this new normal, what are the few things we need to look at? Let's talk about that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to put a question in front of you. So answer that like always in the chat box. Give me 3 pointers. Why is it important for us to know how to manage teams effectively? Yeah. It's important for all of you who are team leaders in the group. If you can look at your personal experience and answer, and others who are not team leaders, but look at your common sense and maybe put your thoughts there also, right? Share 3 points and put all the 3 together in the chat box. Why is it important for us to know how to manage teams effectively? So if you can do that quickly, it will help us to get your responses, and then I will go forward. Okay, so I'm already getting some answers. Okay. Fancy Goel, I like that name, Fancy. Quality of work, motivation of teamwork. Okay, those are 3 reasons. Wonderful. Okay. Anchal is saying need to achieve the deliverables. Okay. Arunima has added, this has become the new normal, so we need to learn how to manage the teams effectively while being digitally connected. That's a good answer. Can I get some more answers? Come on, guys. Let's have some more responses. Yeah. Why is it important to be able to manage virtual teams effectively? Ganesh has added for better effectiveness and efficiency. Yes, it's very important to be able to be effective and simultaneously be efficient. Yes. Jagat has added define responsibility, learn how to coordination and understanding. Okay, Pallab has given a detailed one. Leaving beside the lockdown necessities, managing virtual team online enables you to connect with team placed all over the world, saving costs of travel, boarding of team. Yeah, that's of course very important. Yeah. So my question remains the same. Why is it important for us to know how to manage virtual teams effectively? That's the question. How to manage? Why is it important for us to know how to manage teams effectively? So I've got some good answers. So let me check the chat box again. Sham has said effective utilization of time. Yes. Pratyush has said result orientation, direction, efficiency. Amir has said because all the meetings will be done virtually, all decisions can be communicated with involvement of everyone. Okay. So it's important to understand that. So I'm hearing these 2-3 words quite often: efficiency, effectiveness, yeah, coordination, and as rightly said by Ganesh, meet the organization expectations. Okay. Shikha has added technology can put all into one frame. Okay. Where possibly when I'm doing a Zoom call like this, you could get everybody together and we can be all together to take decisions. So probably what Shikha is saying, that the decision making can become faster if I'm able to utilize the digital platform well. Okay. Yeah, that could be one of the things. Harshit has added sync between teams. Pallab has added it's the need of the hour, it's the future. Yes, and Aaron is saying so that we can ensure that everybody in our team remains efficient and motivated. Okay, so I think good answers by all of you. Wonderful. Yes, so I think efficiency, effectiveness is a common word which has come up. And I think ultimately we all have to get our jobs done, right? We all are responsible. We all have our KRAs, KPIs. We all have goals and objectives as an individual, as a team leader. There is a team goal, there is an organization goal. And I have to be able to fulfill all of that and through my teams, right? Through the various team members. Every team member comes with certain knowledge, certain skills, right? I have to be able to use them to get that job done. And when all that jobs add up, it gets to fulfill our team requirement. Absolutely right. And of course, the organization also has to achieve its goal and objective. Right. So I understand that the lockdown has caused a lot of disruption to a lot of goals and objectives, but we are getting back and we are getting back online and we are able to now. So we have to now ensure that we have to all achieve our goals and objectives, right? Organization has to go about achieving their goals and objectives, whatever restraint they might be. In the beginning, in the February and January, when you do the annual planning, you would have had certain goals and objectives for each individual, for each team, and for the organization. But because of the lockdown and COVID-19, those objectives and goals have to be relooked. But whatever relook is, whether we have reduced our goals and objectives by 40%, 50%, we still have to go about achieving it. So it's important to know that to be able to achieve that, I have to be able to manage my virtual teams. Yeah, that is what is the reason why I have to learn how to manage my virtual team. Yeah. Nitin has added some 3 points: to know our employees and colleagues' point of view for better work, to good performance of our organization on the basis of vision, to communicate our team members and share thoughts. Right. Very well said, Nitin. Thank you all for the feedback. Yes. So that is the reason why I must know how to manage. All of you are aware of it. We'll just talk about a few tips and techniques which will probably make it slightly better. Yeah. Okay. So let's go and see how do I do this. Are there a few things which probably I need to do? Now, going to, of course, I'm sure this is nothing new for all of you. Virtual teams are on the rise, and because of COVID-19, it will only become more and more. Yeah. So that's going to be a thing which all of us are going to use. Yeah. So as per various research, Gallup, Financial Times, Forbes, and many others, many organizations and individuals have predicted that because of COVID-19, this is going to become the new norm, as I said. And this is not just me saying it, but Gallup has said 70% of professionals globally work remotely in some capacity, right? The gig industry, or what we call as people who work on individual basis, contract basis, people who work, are only becoming more and more, right? It was there already, but now the freelancing community, the contract community, the gig community is going to rise because people are going to be working for more. Yeah, they were already doing so. Now it is going to become more and more. Yeah, very celebrated CFO of Infosys, Mohandas Pai. Around 30% of IT employees may function remotely in rotation, even after the lockdown is lifted. I'm sure many of you are already seeing it. Many of you are working in IT and technology companies are already seeing the impact, right? So that's going to, it's only going to rise because technology is enabling it. Yeah. Tech Mahindra's chief people officer says that the high likelihood that 25 to 30% of the company's workforce may continue to work remotely, even after the lockdown is lifted. And as I said, Twitter and a lot of Facebook and Google, all the big technology companies already having a large percentage of people working from home. Yeah. And it is only going to rise. Yeah. And of course, another report by Forbes magazine has said that in 2017, it was reported 3.9 million employees, or nearly 3% of the total American workforce, did all a part of their work remotely. And this is a 115% increase. And I can just see the prediction for 2020 and 21. Yeah, probably it will probably double, if not go through the roof. And I think the same statistics is true for India also. So virtual teams are going to become and rise. If you are not leading a virtual team, you will be part of a virtual team. So we all have to understand and agree and live with this situation. that we may not see our supervisors or our colleagues for months and months, and if maybe not ever, right? And that's going to be the new normal. We will work, we will achieve, we will have our get-togethers, but probably never meet physically. Yeah, that's going to be how the working life is going to be. Yeah, and so let's try to understand, what do I do in this? What is that? Yeah, I understand that for us, for many of us, it has taken some, big, demotivation factor. For all of us, humanity, men and women, we've always been social animals, right? When I say social animals, we always like to, go and meet people, right? Whether on a social, whether it's family, friends, we get together, we touch and feel, we go to a movie, go to a restaurant, go to a club, we go out, we go to the beach. There's so many things we do on a socially that we meet face to face, right? Same as office also. And office is also became somewhere we went out and de-stress because there are pressures at home. Our office environment made us de-stress. We met our colleagues, we cracked jokes, we had lunch together, we had our gossip together, we had our water cooler moments, our coffee breaks, our cigarette breaks, all that were happening. So that also made us bond together, created a lot of trust amongst each other, the sharing of lunch together, having that, in our office, that lunchtime was a good way, that half an hour, 45 minutes to, get to know each other, bond together, pull each other legs, and just have a little bit of fun before we went back to our stressful tasks. So that is something which probably we all are missing. Yeah, we all are missing that, and maybe nothing will replace that. But unfortunately, we really may not be able to go back to that in a jiffy. It will take probably some more time, a lot more time probably, to go back in that environment. Unfortunately, that's how it is going to be till the time we all are vaccinated in about a year's time, and then hopefully we can all gingerly go back in full strength to our offices. Till that time, we will have to adjust to this new normal. Yeah, I miss my office terribly. This Zoom calls and working remotely over the call, over audio call. It doesn't give me that kick. It doesn't give me that fun. But then we all realize that till the time we all are able to come back to office, there is no way out. Yeah. So absolutely right. So that's what is the new reality. Now, let's look at importance of knowing how to manage virtual teams. Yeah, so we have discussed that. You have given your. So as I said, it is the new normal. There is no two ways about it. Statistics show steep increase in the number of remote workers, a trend that is only likely to continue, and the future is uncertain due to the coronavirus. Right. So I really don't know. I'm predicting probably at least a year before probably we can have a full office environment where everybody will be back to office, and we are able to look at a normal office. And maybe, but in that 1 year of this time, maybe we'll all adjust to this new normal, where probably we'll prefer working from home more than going to office. Yeah, we have all adapted. We have all become flexible. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but maybe going to office might be a 2-day affair. The rest of the days, we probably work from home. I really don't know, but that's the uncertain future, what's going to happen. Yeah. Okay, so I've got some people raising their hands and putting their thoughts. Yeah, Pallab is saying, I think it's going to be a 50-50 situation, work from home and office. Yes. Currently, probably it is a 90-10 or a 75-25. In a year's time, possibly it might become 50-50, and that will last for some more time. Yes, Anchal has also raised. Yes, Anchal, you can contribute that in the chat box. Yes. Yeah, so that's going to be how it is. We like it or not, that's how it is going to be. So, as I said, throughout our history of mankind or history of humanity, we have always flourished when we have come together, right? We have always flourished when we have been able to interact physically with each other, right? So now this is again probably another milestone in our humanity history, where probably we will now take another route where possibly this physical meeting with each other will get starkly reduced. Yeah, but then I think as humankind, as mankind, we have all evolved through evolution. So this is probably one more milestone in our evolution where we go forward, where meeting each other physically will become lesser, but still we will be able to do whatever is required to do so, right? So, but I'm still crossing my fingers and saying, okay, Hope the vaccine comes and hope we all are vaccinated in about in the next 6 months to 1 year's time, and we can all go back to our offices and have that lunchtime with all our colleagues, and of course that office gossip which we all love to have. Yeah. Okay. So that's the real importance of knowing how to manage virtual teams. Yeah. Okay. Somebody has also added there. Pratyusha said, yes, we learn and unlearn when we face tough time. Absolutely. We learn, unlearn, and relearn. I would add one more term. We learn, unlearn, and relearn. And that's what is going to be the new norm. Okay. Great. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to give you an exercise here again, and I want you to again answer this question to me. Take a few minutes to think about it, and honestly, whether you are a team member, whether you are a team leader, please answer this question very, very honestly, and then we'll pick it up and discuss around that. Okay. So the question is simple. What are the common challenges that you face while leading a virtual team? Or if you're not a team leader, what are the common challenges that you face while working in a virtual team as a team member, right? If you can just put your thoughts together, and that will help us to really understand your thoughts on the challenges which you have faced in the last 3-4 months while working in a team or while leading a virtual team. If you're a team leader, put it as a team leader. If you are a team member, what are the challenges that you face while working in a virtual team? Okay. Because I understand that all of you may not be team leaders currently, so it doesn't matter. Okay, let's have your thoughts in the chat box. Okay, Natasha has added technology barriers, internet and software. Yes, that's a challenge which is a very, very common factor. Yes. Shikha has said team members do not listen to the command properly over call. Okay. Okay, they can always give an excuse, ma'am, network problem. Okay. Okay, let's get what are the answers? Okay, let me just quickly check on the chat box. What are you getting? Okay. Ganesh has added meet the organization expectation, work-life balance, sync between the teams. Okay. People never join on time. It is very easy for them to give any excuse not joining, and you cannot confirm the same 100%. Yes, I agree with you. Amir, Harshit has said distraction. Yeah, because you and your family are there. Mithun has added personal touch, proper communication, technology problem. Yes. And that one very nice word you have used, Mithun, is that personal touch. Very well said. Shika is saying we cannot see what they are doing at home as there's no physical connection. Yes, absolutely right. Pallab said network issues. Everybody do not have conducive atmosphere at home for working for too long. Working too long virtually can be stressful, physical health issues being at home. Yes. And Pratyush added, you can't see how attentive team is. Yes. I don't know how attentive all of you are currently. That's a challenge. Exactly. Yeah. Doing some homework in between gaps. Okay. Yes. Shivalika has added all members have different point of views. Everybody is not punctual. Everyone has a personal problem. Yes. Everyone makes excuse for switching on the camera. I fully agree with you. People are not very comfortable in the video call, right? Because their room, their background, they are not probably properly dressed for all you know. That could be one more challenge. Yes. Yeah. But I would request you just focus on the work. When you're talking about getting work done, what are the challenges that you face? Pratyush said, we are participating. We are serious. Thank you so much, Pratyush. I love that. Harshita said, not everyone is available all the time online. Anuradha is saying etiquette. Oh, interesting. Etiquette. Shika is saying, yes, it is because no workspace. Okay. No concrete timing. Yeah, I think that whole 9 to 5 has got slightly fuzzy. Things have got overlap. Is that good or bad? We'll just see that. We'll talk about that. Ganesh has added a very important thing. People engagement and involvement. Basic netiquettes. I like the term. Net etiquette. Netiquette. That's a good one you're giving me, Ganesh. I think I'll use this terminology more. Netiquette. Very nice. Harshit has added, need to ask, have you seen this mail? We have to keep asking them. Yeah, it's not a common thing. So yeah, these are few things which we all are having. Jagat has added, as a team leader, I'm facing of network and need to follow up many times for the same work. Sometimes no clarity in one time. Yes, because network issue, you're not too sure whether people have got your message. and you have to follow up. Okay. Satish has added difficulty in managing work-life balance. Okay, great. So some very good inputs, and I understand all the challenges that you all are facing. Network challenges, you're not too sure of people doing what they're supposed to do. The physical connection is missing, because of which you're not able to, probably the trust factor has got a bit of it. You like it or not, probably the trust factor amongst each other has probably taken a hit, right? Communication breakdown because of network issues. Yeah. Then people, because of personal challenges at home, are not able to concentrate and focus, and probably there are delay in deliverables. Possibly that has also happened. Okay. I think there's one more contribution. I'll just check and see what you've written in the chat box. Pratyush, actually, we all are learning. Managers and teams are learning how to cope with the new normal. Pallav is said, passing on positive physical energy in motivating team not possible. Yeah, that thing you could do, sit with the person concerned, someone who's demotivated, putting an arm around, and showing your a concern in your voice. The physical, the contact, which helps a lot in team bonding and creating trust. That is possibly missing, even though you're seeing across the screen. I think seeing virtually each other and sitting across the table together with your colleague is absolutely a different experience altogether. Yeah. So those are some of the common challenges that we are all facing. Absolutely right. So I absolutely agree with you, and I'll also highlight a few of them, which are probably you all have done that. There is a feeling of, there is a feeling of isolation and feeling of disconnection. Yeah, there is an isolation and feeling of disconnection. The communication, lack of motivation, and of course, there is a what you call as building trust. Yeah, isolation. We are all isolated, and there is a feeling of disconnection. Yeah. So because of this social distancing, because of where we have to by force stay at home, there's a whole lot of isolation where individuals are feeling. A lot of us, are people from different cities. We live alone. We have a few set of friends, but even that we're not able to meet. Office was one way of, mingling with people. Now that also not happening. I think some of us are feeling that isolated feeling, right? And a disconnected feeling. And that demotivates us a lot. We say, no, we are absolutely not interested. In some days, we just want to just give it up and just sleep the whole day. So there is this whole feeling of isolation and disconnection. Communication is a challenge because of network, because of other reason, there's no communication happening. Because of which, again, there's an issue, and there's a lot of times the complaint of communication breakdown. Yeah, and because of this virtual working, there's a lot of lack of motivation. The isolation leads to lack of motivation. We are not able to, we are not able to utilize each other's energies, which we used to do in our office environment. If someone is demotivated, others will pick them up. Others' energy will drive you. But here, I'm not able to eat into each other or tap into each other's energies, and that's which is causing lack of motivation. And of course, trust has become a big factor, right? Because I'm not able to communicate, I'm not able to get together, I'm not too sure. Especially as a team leader, you're always thinking whether my team members are working. There are delays happening. Probably you are not sure about whether everybody's putting in the 100%, and that has caused probably the trust levels have probably come down a bit. Yeah, so that's where it's happened. These are the common challenges which we all are having. Okay, just give me 15 seconds, guys. I just need to just upload the presentation again. Just give me 15 seconds. I'm just stopping my presentation. I will just again upload the presentation. Just give me 15 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Just give me a confirmation in the chat box if you can see the presentation properly. Quickly, please give me a quick confirmation in the chat box. Great. Thank you so much. Sorry for that. रुकावट के लिए खेद है. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. So since these are the common challenges, and I'm sure all of you agree that you, in at least in some point in the last 3 and 4 months, you've had these challenges, right? Where you have felt isolated, a feeling of disconnection, communication gap and communication challenges between each other and team members, lack of motivation, where someday you just didn't feel like working at all, and of course, somewhere down the line, trust has got a bit of a hit, right? So let's see whether we can pick up some tips and techniques which will help us to get over some of these challenges, if not all of them, right? So what I'm going to do in front of you is I'm going to put a quick case study, quickly read it in the next 1 or 2 minutes, and I want your response on, and it may be a reflection of probably some of you, who have gone. So go through this case study and give me your quick responses on what happened exactly here. It's slightly longish. Just quickly take a minute or two to read it. It's important that we read through this because this will help us to then get focus on what are we talking about. And when I talk about some of the tips and techniques going forward, it will probably help you to relate to this particular case study. Yeah, can you just quickly go through this? Yeah. So my question to all of you is that what happened here quickly? If you have read it, just give me a quick answer in a chat box, 1 or 2 thoughts on what do you think happened here? Why was Vinay was not able to get the job done? Okay, let's see some answers have come in. Let's look at some of the answers. Okay, so no synchronization, communication error. Natasha is saying, Harshi said regular. I couldn't get that. Harshit. Amir said no specific task given with deadlines. Okay. Anchal has added, it seems you're not taking daily follow-up and reviews. Okay. So probably that was missing. A review mechanism was missing, you're saying. Sham has said not allocating correct responsibility and not doing review on progress. Okay. Amir has added deadline was treated to only the project but not the task. Okay, so their detailed breakdown of task was not given. Saima has said communication gaps. Okay, what kind of communication gaps would you like to elaborate, Saima? Natasha has added discuss issues and try to resolve. Harshit has added not regular communication. Okay, have I missed anybody else's thoughts? Pallab has added everybody got disoriented due to change in work circumstances. Nobody could anticipate this change. Plan B could not fall in place. So as a team leader, do you think Vinay also played a role in this? In adequate planning and coordination, Aditya is saying with team to complete the project within deadlines, considering the virtual work scenario. Okay. So not a proper planning coordination not done. Okay. Okay. Shikha has added not proper working hours and lack of communication and review report was not there. He must give small time to the team so that he could check whether the team were working or not. Okay. Engagement was not done as said by Mithun. Okay. Time to time report was not there. Satish is added. Gantt chart not made. Okay, Satish. Yeah, I wish we could do that. Yes. There were gaps in planning. Okay. 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 Great. Harshit and Satish have added some technical quality terms of Kanban. Yes, Kanban is our quality thing of planning. Yes, Gantt chart, another technique. Yeah, so I will not go there. But yes, what we saw was that possibly there were a few things missing, right? Probably the review mechanism was missing. Probably ensuring that, he was more talking about the process rather than the objective. Probably there was Vinay probably thought that working from home is same as working in office, right? And he did not understand that people probably have challenges at home while trying to work from home. Yeah. So I think these are the few things. Possibly the communication was not clear. There was not regular communication and more communication. So probably that was probably missing. I would add that probably Vinay was focused on the goal, but he was not focused on that how will people go about doing it. He's a taskmaster. He wanted to achieve his goal, but he was not sensitive to people's new environment, right? That possibly was the gap which was happening, and that's why he could not motivate people to really be aligned with that goal and deadline. So that possibly is what was the missing thing. So let's understand a few of these things, and I'll keep coming back to this case study for our reference purpose when I talk about what we call as a big three. How do I manage virtual teams effectively? The big three. So I'm going to give you some tips here, some three things or few things under these three main topics. So the big three we're going to talk about is how do I make my virtual team productive, right? That's what we saw in Vinay's case, that possibly, the productivity was missing. How do I do that? Okay. Second is, how do I ensure seamless communication, right? Seamless communication. It's the current situation. Communication has to be seamless within the team, with you and the team, amongst the team. So is there a way to ensure seamless communication? And third, of course, is how do I create a positive culture for my virtual team, right? Now, we all had a kind of culture in office, but is there some culture I can have within my virtual teams? What are the few things which I need to be careful about when trying to get productivity out of my team members? Yeah. So let's look at each one of these points individually. So how do I make it productive? Communication and positive culture. Yeah. Now, making my team productive. A few tips I would like to add here is, number one, focus on results, not working hours. I think this is very important, that I need to be now as a team leader, focus on results. So identify the key indicators of success for each team member. What is the end goal you want every individual to look at, right? We need to probably sacrifice the process and focus on the goal and the objective and the results, right? And we have to develop matrix that focus on results, output, outcome, not the number of hours worked or the processes, right? So I'm sure organizations are reinventing the processes to support people to work from home. So as team leaders, as teams, relook at your ways of working and streamline it in a manner that focuses on getting results. Now, you could have people who are morning people, you could have people who are night people, you could have people who are day people, right? People work at their best when you leave it to them. And given the current pandemic situation where people are working from home, worry about measurements of end results. Do not worry about how much time people are putting in the work. People could be able to achieve what they have to do in 2 hours. And some people might take 8 hours distributed over four breaks. It's absolutely fine, because people have to also manage their homes, right? There are women who are managing family, managing them. Men are supporting them in the household chores. There are elderly parents. There are children's studies happening online. There are other essential things to be got. There are everything else around the life house has to go on, right? So for many months, there were no household help. Even many locations today also don't have household help coming. So understanding that people will work, and trust them to be able to work as per their timing and get their end results. So identify the key indicators of success for each team member. Ensure that they know what are the key performance indicators, their KRs. Now leave it to them. How will they go about doing it? Yeah. Develop matrix that focus on outcomes, not the number of hours worked or the processes. Yeah. So that's one thing. I'll come back to you, Aditya. Just give me a second. I'll just come back to you. Then set clear expectations. I think set clear expectation that what is it that you want from the team, want from each individual member of the team. Clearly define the scope, the deadlines, deliverables for each task, project your team is working on. So sometimes probably when you are in office, you could leave it slightly fluid. But when you're working from home, that fluidity might cause confusion. So probably it's important to have set deadlines and deliverables for each task, project your team is working on. And everybody should know, and everybody should probably have a look at the same dashboard, as we call it. So today you have tools and technology helping you for all of us to look at the same dashboard together. So that probably would tell everybody, you know what, this is my piece, this is my deliverable, this is the timeline. And this is how it fits into the overall team dashboard. So then that gives a lot of clarity. Yeah. Share the reasons behind the task and how you will measure success, right? So get an idea of how we're going to measure the success, right? And set mutually agreed expectations for availability, communication system, working hours, meetings. So now, something which I have done, and I'll give you our example. I had a business development team in Work Better. So we have had a fixed day of having a Wednesday for our reviews. Now everybody knows that Wednesdays is where I will be reviewed with Gautam. So I need to ensure that my life around that happens. And it has become a pattern for the last 4 months. Now there is, I don't think so for the last 2.5, 3 months, we have ever missed that, meeting, which is that Wednesday, meeting, review meeting. Right? And people have understood that, and they've also understood that that meeting has certain expectations, which has been made clear. So I don't have to tell them, I don't have to remind them. They all are ready with their expectations, ready with their deliverables. And of course, we have a tracker also available. So that tracker, if I have to see what's happening, I will go to the tracker. And in the weekly review, we'll just look at the key items. I don't have to get into the minutes, ki ye hua, ye kyun nahi hua. So that's something I don't have to get into. So that has helped in the entire process of people understand the expectations, and there is a mechanism of monitoring which is not intrusive, but it also tells everybody that what is required from them. Yeah. So set clear expectation and have a system of tracking people, which is not a minute, what you call as minute management. You don't do that. Okay. Okay, there was, I think, a question from Aditya, or a thought from Aditya. Let's just quickly check that out. Okay, no, Jagat has said, as nobody aware of this pandemic, so the brief was not shared properly on virtual meeting, or maybe not clarity among you. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, so that's the first thing is very important is, if you look at it, set clear expectations. And before that, we spoke about focus on results, not working hours. That's critical. You could have someone working all night and still get you the process done, which is absolutely fine. You'll have to ensure that people are able to keep a work-life balance. Yeah, like it was not a good idea to work at night even when it was normal times. It's not a very good idea to work even now at nights when you are occupied during the daytime also. Yeah, so it's important to tell your team members to have as normal a working time while working from home also. But let them find their way. Let them find which is their most productive hour. And let them focus on getting results, not on the number of hours they spend. Okay. Yeah. And then of course, the next part is scheduling regular meetings and process to track program. That's what I told you already, that I've had a mechanism. I'm sure all of you have had a mechanism where conducting periodic reviews, weekly, monthly, quarter, see how your team is coping. Schedule reviews, catch up at the same time on the same day on a weekday, monthly basis, make it a routine. So then people will adjust their life around that. Yeah. And introduce a system sharing daily, weekly task update. Now, we've had technology, as I said, we have tools available, and more tools are coming, which are helping you to keep a track of the work in progress. Yeah, we use something as simple as Google Sheets. You could use a very, very advanced tools to keep track of your projects and to keep track of your team's inputs. So whatever suits you, whatever your office allows, whatever your HR allows, please use that to be able to have scheduled regular meetings and processes to track programs. Again, remember, understand that you and your team is working from home. Work from home has different challenges. So you'll have to understand that there could be noise. There would be possibility of not having the most appropriate background. There would be situations where people will come in late, right? So you'll have to be sensitive to that, right? So don't get very upset about, people are not coming on time. As long as they're coming, you can probably have some window of 5-10 minutes where you can chit chat with your colleagues when others are joining in. You have to be a little bit sensitive and be patient with this scenario. Yeah. So that's the first part about how do I become productive. Yeah. The second part is ensuring seamless communication. Yeah. Okay. Quick question to anybody. Is there any other thoughts of how people have? Okay, maybe I'll take that during the Q&A. I'll just quickly go to our next part. ensuring seamless communication. I think I would say, and it has helped me a lot, and I've seen other team leaders in my organization where over communication has become a norm. So that there is no gap in communication, there's a complete clarity of communication. So ensuring seamless communication is also a very important point here. So what about that? Engaging in proactive communication. I think a lot of things you have to do is proactive communication, because people will respond, but you cannot say that I will wait for them to respond. I think it's important that you pick up and you set, compensate for the fact that you're no longer constantly around each other. You know what? In our earlier times, you could just get out of your room, get up from your workstation, walk over to your colleague and take a quick update and a quick talk or a quick chat. Or you could all quickly huddle into a meeting room and catch up and try to understand what's happening, which is probably no longer available because people are not immediately available for a catch up or a con call or a Zoom call or a catch up. So you will have to understand that you're no longer around each other, which means that you will probably have to be more proactive in your communication with your team and team member. Yeah. And encourage your team members to share proactive updates with you. Yeah. Inculcate the habit that, yes, I'm not going to be managing you 24/7. I don't want to talk to you every time. But if I have a tool of update, if there is a tool which you have created, it could be as simple as a tracker on Google Sheets, then people should diligently and religiously update that, so that you don't have to micromanage them. So encourage and you do yourself and get others also do the same with you. So that's another form of proactive communication. Of course, have a chat room open. Now, we in our organization, WhatsApp has become a very, very, which you call an instant communication, right? If you have groups, project groups, or your different functional groups, then that group updates or which is happening. If there's a goal or a task, people's updates are put there, so that everybody instantly knows what's going on. And if they have some clarity, they can just pick up the phone and talk to that particular member. So use that, have a chat room open constantly. And of course, there are various tools available and use them to our effect. I'm sure all of you are doing that. Just ensure that you do it more. That's one thing about proactive communication. Yeah. The other thing which I'm going to talk about is the video call. I think the importance of video calls. I understand that many of us are not very comfortable coming onto a video because maybe, I know when a lot of us used to dress up when we went to office, right? We used to really, and many women in this room, in the forum today, every morning challenge, what? I don't have anything to wear to office. That's something which a lot of my women friends have this challenge. Even though there's a full wardrobe of half of them are new clothes, but we all like to get dressed up and go to office, and be presentable. We have attended so many sessions on grooming and looking professional at work. But I think that's luxury, or that probably I think we have now, we are not wanting to do that anymore, because what the hell, we are at home, right? So how does it make a difference? Yeah. People will not see me, no. I just need to talk and get the job done. What's it? But I think as much as you use video calls, people will start thinking it's a new normal. People will dress up like going to work. People will dress up to come onto a video call. I think a lot of us are doing now in our office also. We actually are dressing up for our video calls because that gives the sense of normalcy, right? So yeah, I know, we are. So ladies, please go ahead, and when you have those important VCs on a daily basis, get it to be a video call, because then people will consciously be aware that they need to look the best. And when you look the best, you are confident, you're comfortable, and you get a good job, you get efficiency and effectiveness out. So use video calls as much as you can, right? Video calls the best replacement to seeing your team members every day in office. Now, we can't see them physically. If you do video calls, you're able to see them virtually. And that helps in bonding, trust, and all that's happening. Video calls remove several communication barriers and helps build a bond by being able to interact with each other visually and audibly. I think, as we said, we all are social animals, right? That's why social media has become so popular, because we all want to interact with each other, right? And we all want to interact with the office colleagues. So the more I can hear them, see them, the more I can able to develop trust. So please encourage, may not be 100% that you will do video calls. Try to have as many video calls as possible. If you're going to have a one-to-one session with one of the team members, it could be a project review call, it could be an appraisal, it could be a whatever. If you're going to congratulate somebody, just do not put a thumbs up on the WhatsApp group. Quick, maybe do a quick WhatsApp audio video call or a Zoom call or whatever video platform. Get everybody together and celebrate that individual. Congratulate that individual when you have to celebrate and appreciate. If you have to give feedback to an individual, then do a video call, because that will help you to connect better with the person. Yeah. And of course, we have several platforms to do that. Whatever platform is allowed by your organization, do that and engage with people on a video format, because that gives us that feeling of touch and feel, right? Even though I can't physically touch them, but at least I can see them, I can hear them. Yeah, that gives us a good, so that communication, trust, bonding happens very well. So use video calls as much as you can. Yeah. Okay, I think someone saying a few things. People are saying a few things. Okay. Amin has said that agreed, but updates on WhatsApp groups should be limited to a time like after 9 p.m. or not before. Yeah, I agree with you, Amin. Good point. Yes. So as a team leader, maintain that kind of a discipline. That yes, WhatsApp updates are important, group updates are important. Do that, but keep a cutoff limit. If it is absolutely emergency or urgent, or you are in different geographic locations, now you can't help that, right? But be aware and sensitive about each other's geographies, and then put it in the group. But yes, there has to be some kind of a time limit to, like you had a time limit when you were at the office. I think there has to be a time limit when you're working from home also. Pallav has added, earlier video calls were being used by some, but many of us took it lightly. But now, thanks to COVID-19, it is now mandatory. Yes, absolutely. Now, as I said, people are still shy about coming on video. Please try to remove that shyness by ensuring more and more. The more you use it, the better it will become. Yeah? Okay. 1 second, guys. Okay, so that's thing about the communication piece, right? In terms of how we can become proactive in our communication by, what I said is, use video calls as much as you can, and of course, engage in proactive communication. Yeah, that's the second part of our 2-3 takeaways. One was productivity, communication. Third is, of course, how do I create a positive culture for the virtual team? Yeah, it's very important that we are able to create a positive culture for the virtual team. Yeah. Now, as we remember, if I look at both the case, and when you go back to our Vinay case, right? One factor which was pretty obvious was that Vinay probably is a workaholic. Vinay probably is focused on achieving his goals and objectives. And he thought that working from home and working from office and working from home will get the same results. It just, only the location has changed. Everything else should remain the same. That's what he thought. But he never did not understand that possibly as a team leader, he must understand the background and the environment which the people are now working, right? Because now people do not have the luxury of the facilities of an office environment, right? So when people do not have the luxury of an facilities of the office environment, people may not be able to turn around the task as much as they want. So that's something which was possibly missing in the case of the Vinay case study. Yeah. So Vinay as a team leader has to create what we call as a positive culture for the virtual team. Yeah. Now, what are those things? Let's understand that. One thing which possibly Vinay could have done is lead with empathy. Leading with empathy is, I think, one of the foremost requirement of team leaders today. Right? Because COVID has given a lot of stress. You could be having in the next building some 5 cases positive. In some of the people I know, in the same floor or the floor below or the floor above, there have been people who have got COVID positive. Right? There could be someone very nearby who is being very seriously affected by this situation. There could be a family member who is affected. Right? So people are dealing with all these issues also while trying to work also. Right? There are, as people have said earlier, there are children trying to study from home. There are elderly people who are also sensitive. They have existing illnesses. They have to be taken to hospitals, and taking to hospital itself is a big issue. Now, how do we do that with full care? People have to travel also for work. So all this is something which is really putting a lot of stress and pressure on individuals. And then you have multiple people working and trying to use the same network and the same network challenges. The wife has a target and a goal, husbands have goals and target, the children have homework, they have classes to attend, they have hobby classes to attend. Children are, you know, on your nerves because they can't go out and play as much as they used to. So they are becoming a big challenge to handle, right? So all this is becoming a problem at home. And still, and then you have a supervisor who wants you to really update you and who wants to get an objective and a goal done. So we must understand as supervisor that I need to be highly empathetic at this point of time. I need to lead with empathy, right? Which means I need to allow a degree of flexibility regarding working hours. I spoke about this earlier also. So don't worry about a 9 to 5 timeline now. If you have identified our goals, KPIs, and objectives, let people, you know, do whatever time suits them. There is a tracker available. Let people update their progress there, right? And during that, weekly meeting or a weekly update, you can just take update from here. Don't worry about what they do the rest of the hours. As long as the objective is progressing, the goals are progressing, targets are being met, right? So allow a degree of flexibility regarding working hours. Discuss work schedule with each team member by respecting the time and home life, right? Now, earlier, we could assume that people are working from office. Everybody will be, in office. So it's expected that from a 9:30 to 6:30, everybody works and does everything together. But now each individual might have a different kind of a schedule based on their background, based on the challenges at home. So have a chat with each individual and come to a consensus about what kind of work schedule you will have with them, right? And come to an understanding. And of course, HR is also already formulating policies that they fall within the HR policies also. Yeah. So do that, and that will really help you to get an individual effective and efficient. Yeah? And of course, offer support to your team members when they need it. Right? Now, there could be sometime, like I had a case in my team last week. I could very clearly see that there was some challenge with him, and there was clearly a reduction in motivation, and there was I could not see that energy and enthusiasm in that team member for the last 2 weeks. So I offered to have a chat with him in a one-to-one basis. He opened up, shared his concern, right? And I understood that concern because it was leading to a lot of personal challenges. So I said, okay, fine, not a problem. What we will do, to take time off for this entire week. Go address that issue and come back with full energy and enthusiasm. And he was very happy because he was struggling. I could see that he was struggling to manage what was happening at home and also manage work. So I think we'll have to do that. And a lot of, we have to say, okay, you have your leaves, go take your leave and come back and focus on work. And he was very happy doing that. And I'm hoping to have him back on Monday. And already he's messaged that, he's already, got in touch. He looked at the tracker and he's already got up to date with what's happening in the project. So you have to be doing that. Offer support to your team members when they need it, right? Some people will need, those time off. Some people need some other work, some other help. Give whatever is possible from you and the organization. You will see a lot more, you will get a lot more trusting and, lot more motivated team when you offer support. So lead with empathy, be flexible, respect their time and home life, and of course, offer support. Yeah, that will really get you to be able to get the best out of your team and team members. Understand that it is a situation where nobody wanted it, but it has come on you and to your team. Right? As much as you want flexibility from your supervisors, from your seniors, I think that's what is expected from your team also. Right? You want respect of your time at home, give that respect to their life and their time at home. And of course, offer as much support as you can. Yeah. So that's how we can be empathetic and leading with empathy. As I said, offering support. What we always do, and I'm sure many of you are doing, start your team meetings with banter. What do I mean by banter? Chit chat, like you do in a team meeting, right? What's happening? What, did you see Dil Bechara last night? I'm sure many of you did that, right? How was it? I know, a lot of you were very sentimental about this movie about, Sushant Singh Rajput. Yeah. So share those things with each other. Share those concerns. A lot of people are exercising at home. So how many footsteps you do today, right? So engage, what is happening around them while also coming back to work. So ask your workers how they're doing, how they're coping up, how are their parents, engage in that. So offer that support so that even if you're not able to offer support, this discussion and sharing with each other also gets people to feel very good about it. Yeah. Listen attentively to the responses, right? And next meeting, check with them, update, ask for update. How's your mom doing? You're supposed to take her for a scan. How did that go? I hope things are better, right? So those are the things which you can probably use to offer support. Yeah. If a worker has concerns or is feeling stressed, give them time to discuss this and try to put a plan in place to support them. As I said about my colleague, right? I had to give him a 1 week off because there was no other way out to get him back. And I'm quite sure when he's back on Monday, he will be a much better person. Yeah. And of course, make it easy for your team members to reach. Yeah. Yeah. So I know you also have to have a work-life balance, but keep that, as you said, our open door policy. Yeah. So here also you have to follow the same open door policy. Right? People should be able to communicate with you completely transparently and more now, because people might want to talk to you on a one-to-one basis regarding a personal challenge. So please keep that open door policy and make it easy for people to reach you very, very quickly. Yeah. So those are ways you can offer support. Okay, I have some people contributing in the chat box. Let me see what you have. Okay, so someone who's added on the chat box. Pallav said empathy, motivation, being sensitive in this virtual world is working wonders with it. Yes, very, very key words: empathy, motivation, and being sensitive. Absolutely right. If the more you can show that in your support, the better you will get. You will get a more motivated team. You will get a team member who is supportive of you, and they will be really bonded together to achieve your goals and objectives. I think that's very critical. Yeah. Lastly, what I would like to talk about is creating a true team feeling. Yeah. Keep your team informed about how, no, not lastly, second lastly. So create true team feeling, keep your team informed about how the company is doing in future plans, keep yourself updated and talk to your team very transparently, very, very clearly. Don't hide things, because people will not trust you if you're going to hide things and they get to know from somebody else about the reality, right? So keep them informed about what's going on, the future plans, celebrate victories and appreciate team members on a public forum, especially again on a video call. And of course, find and foster time for remote team fun. I'm sure a lot of your organization HRs are organizing what we call as virtual team buildings, activities after work hours. So we have what we call as a Friday fun time. On a Friday evening, we all get together on a Zoom platform and we have a lot of things which are happening. Right? Just last weekend, last Friday, we all had shared our lockdown, things we had done in the lockdown period. Whether it was exercise, some skill, like I shared about my travel from Delhi to Bombay, the experience of the flight and all that. Others members shared their videos of cooking, exercising, playing with their pet, doing all kinds of things with their parents. We had a video team put together that video together and was put up, on the Friday. And it was so much fun to watch that. So that's something which we do. We have this Friday evening and music jamming. We have so many things which happens on 2 Fridays every month. And I'm sure many of you also have that happening in your offices. Yeah. Can some of you share that with me? What are the various things? Chai pe charcha and virtual antakshari singing. Yes, absolutely. We had virtual, drinks and dinner where people got their drinks and got their dinner and we all are chatting with each other. So just don't do with your friends and family. Do it with your office colleagues, like a Friday evening, right? Not weekend, on a Friday evening. So that, you can have that fun together when the week is done with, week is over, you have all finished your week done, and now on a Friday evening for an hour, you can get together. Yes. So can somebody share what are the practices which you guys are doing? Anybody? If you all are in some kind of office or you are team leaders, what kind of team activities have you been able to do? Anybody? Please share. Pallav has shared chai pe charcha and virtual antakshari singing. Yes, yeah, we love antakshari. Anybody else? What else have you guys been doing? Yeah, people who are working virtual game. Shika, what kind of game is that? We are playing Ludo. Okay, amongst the team members. Yeah, good. I think Ludo has become a real challenge for all of us, right? Okay, Pratyush is saying we interact with all family members on Saturday. Wow, lovely. Shikha has added Tambola and Ludo. Shikha, I hope you won something. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Very good. Okay, so we have had Tambola. Yes, yes, I won and lost both. Okay, very good, Shika. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, so those are the things which probably will help us to really get together and have that fun, which we used to have when we were in office, right? Nitin is saying sometime playing PUBG and playing cards also. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so playing PUBG, yeah, a lot of the youngsters in the group probably do that quite regularly amongst themselves. Yeah, and we have had people who have had various functions, form teams in PUBG, and they are playing against each other. Yes. Uh, Sandha ad with team in every weekend, no office talk. Okay, Mithun is saying I can probably Mithun, if you are saying evening adda. Okay, is that what you're trying to say? In Bangla, it says evening adda with team members. Is that what you're trying to say? Adda means getting together and doing chit chatting. Ah, no office talk. Yes, maybe a little bit of office gossip. Huh? Is that okay, Mithun? Yeah, possibly doing a little bit of office gossip, catching up on what's happening. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think this all helps. I know it cannot replace that physical presence, but I think given the current COVID situation, that's the best we can do. So please come up with various ideas, check with your HR, come up with various ideas of your own to be able to really just engage with your team. It's very important for us as supervisors and team leaders who are leading teams in a virtual format to be able to, get people together in a virtual format. And yes, Shikha, how can girls not be there and have girly gossip? Oh yeah. So you had just the girl gang get together. Is that what happened, Shikha? All the girl employees got together. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So that's what is is what you can do. Oh, Shika said she has a team of girls only. Okay. Yeah, so I know, yeah, so we can all have that girl gossip or the guy get together, right? All the guys. So yeah, so what I'm going to say is that I think we need to have a way to create that true team feeling, yeah, which you could do at the workspace, but because of the current situation, you're not able to do physically, but there is possibility of doing virtually, right? And I'm sure many have done it with your family and friends also, who are all spread across the country. I think same should do with your team quite often, at least if not every week, in a fortnight once. I think it'll create that kind of bonding. Absolutely right. Wonderful to see that all of you have done that. And of course, some examples you've already given. That's something which we do. Have a virtual team dinner, lunch once a month, set up cocktail hour once a month, and of course, have team members share pictures of the weekend activities, hobbies, so all that can be done. And of course, like someone said, get the family also to participate along with all of you. That would be a great way to just to see, okay, you know what, and doesn't matter the background. It's okay. Don't get into that. I need to have a perfect background. It's not Instagram or Facebook. Don't have to create that false impression. Just be natural self. Just be where you are. That's your house. That's your comfort zone. So let it be. Don't worry about, do I have the perfect background? No. The more imperfect, the better is the bonding with each other. We relate to imperfection. Nobody is perfect. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So we got some